What path might you take in your quest for total health?
Optimum health that encompasses mind, body, and spirit.
So join us now as we head to the frontiers of integrative health and well-being.
With Judy Brooks
Roy Walkenhorst
and Michelle Bernhardt on Healing Quest.
Today we want you to meet two men, Ray and Dwight, who have overcome some big odds.
You know, how they did that could help all the rest of us deal with our traumas and our challenges.
We'll also see why the words healthy and cheese are increasingly being used in the same sentence, and what that means for our diets.
And wait until you see the healing moment we have for you today.
Thanks for joining us. We have some great information, insights, and images to share with you.
On our journey to better health, right here on Healing Quest.
Broadcast of this program made possible by
Prime, a daily dietary supplement designed to support cardiovascular health by boosting the production of nitric oxide. Prime from Kivana, formulated to support healthy circulation for every cell in the body. More information available at primeno.com.
Vital Choice Seafood, wild-caught seafood and whole food supplements rich in omega-3s. More information about our wild seafood and our sustainable practices is available at www.vitalchoice.com or at 800-608-4825.
The American Botanical Council provides science-based herbal information at herbalgram.org.
Be More, a monthly digital magazine designed to help you thrive. Every Be More issue is packed with information from nationally known health and wellness experts. Be More is available on request at BeMoreMagazine.com. Most of us have probably heard about the importance of, quote, being in touch with our emotions as a way of staying healthy.
I can say from years of experience that she's pretty good at this. Me, I'm still working on it. In any case, our Inner World segment today is going to introduce us to a technique that could be truly life-changing, especially when it comes to dealing with our emotions and the seriously bad things that can happen to us in life.
Our Inner World guide, Michelle Bernhardt, has been examining this technique, and what she's found is very good news.
Thank you, Judy and Roy. This season on Healing Quest, we've been exploring the topic of trauma as a portal for transformation. And the man you're about to meet has made it possible for people all over the world to do just that.
So, you know, you've had two heroes' journeys. One in the battlefield and the other one now in the inner battlefield.
Peter Levine wants to help all of us be heroes when it comes to transforming the trauma in our life.
One of the amazing things about being able to really work with trauma successfully, to transform trauma, is that every time we do that, we become stronger, we become more resilient human beings.
Peter is the developer of somatic experiencing, which is a form of therapy aimed at relieving the symptoms of trauma by releasing them physically.
And rest. Somatic experiencing comes from an understanding that trauma is something that happens not just in the mind, not just in the brain, but in the body. When we experience that we're threatened, our body tightens, we stiffen, we retract, our guts twist, we collapse into helplessness. And the thing that has not been realized, not well understood, is that the body holds those patterns of tension or collapse and helplessness. And until we change the experience in the body keeps telling the mind that there's threat.
When I first came, my very first session, I remember in LA, I thought this was the dumbest thing in the world. I honestly, I was so resistant to it.
Ray is a Marine who'd been severely injured by explosive devices in Iraq.
In fact, Ray had been prescribed a cocktail of powerful medications, not only for pain, but for PTSD, TBI, traumatic brain injury, Tourette's syndrome, and depression. If we can help the person have new experiences in their bodies where they feel more powerful, more centered, more grounded, then they're able to deal with those traumatic memories in a much better way, in a way that is embodying and empowering. I'm going to ask you just to say these words and just to notice what happens inside of you, sensations, thoughts, pictures, or memory, whatever. Just feeling the vibration, the shaking, the trembling. I want you to say, I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm alive and I'm here.
I'm alive and I'm here.
I survived.
I survived.
Not everyone did.
Not everyone did.
And I'm here.
And I'm here.
And I'm alive.
And I'm alive. I honestly thought that time would be the only thing that would really cure my problems. But it's like when you really let yourself be into it, it's a completely different experience. If you've had any type of traumatic experience and you've tried medications after medications like I have and just don't work for you, I would say broaden your horizon.
Documentary filmmaker Regina K. Scully broadened her horizon to include somatic experiencing, and the results were powerful and dramatic. The whole thing is that neurons that fire together wire together. So trauma literally reinforces the neurons in our system to be, so stuck together, exactly.
When you're stuck in trauma, you are stuck in the memory of trauma. But the memory, again, it's not cognitive. It's not something that we can recall. It's how the body has responded and how the body has got stuck.
I lie down on her table. She has a healing table. And she literally places her hands underneath my entire central nervous system from head to toe and literally works through the head, down my whole body, and then around my feet, pulling out the energy, the neurons and the energy that is so misplaced and lodged in my system. She releases it. It literally releases it from the body. Now, this is something that words alone can't do. And I know it's hard for the rational mind to understand it, but when you are physically going through it and you feel the benefits and the heat, so you can literally feel the release. And in my case, it was extremely effective.
I'm concerned when people get the idea that trauma is a life sentence. And while trauma is a fact of life, the good news is that it doesn't have to be a life sentence. And we have the instincts to heal from these traumas, given the appropriate support and guidance.
After completing his treatments, Ray entered a college program, got married, and had a child, and he came back to visit Peter Levine. Ray still had challenges, but he also had new coping skills, and he'd made huge progress in transforming the trauma that had once been so painful.
So again, the words are, I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
I'm home.
I'm home.
It's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey.
And I'm coming home at last.
And I'm coming home at last.
And I give thanks for life.
And I give thanks for life.
What a heartfelt story, and it's a reminder to all of us to be grateful for the men and women in the military who sacrificed so much.
What I also like about somatic experiencing is that it doesn't require the person to relive the traumatic event. It clears the nervous system in a very gentle way.
I also like what Peter Levine said about trauma not being a life sentence.
Yes, that's an important point. Sentence is an interesting word, and it can mean a lot of different things and can also work on multiple levels. For example, when Dr. Levine had Ray use those powerful words, I'm alive, I survived, and I'm here, I believe several things were happening. First, by saying the words, Ray was able to release the emotions that were trapped in his body. And second, words are powerful. When we say them, especially in a sentence, we are creating reality. That's what an affirmation is. What we say, we create. And third, a belief can also become a life sentence.
I think that's fascinating, but how can a person change a belief that's so deeply held?
Well, I often have my clients try to find the sentence that is holding the belief that might not be serving them. Like, for example, nobody loves me. Then we would try to replace that belief with something better, because the sentence and the belief are directly connected, and a wrong belief can become a life sentence if we are not careful or conscious.
Good advice. And that's what Peter was saying, that just because you experience it doesn't mean you have to carry it with you the rest of your life.
Exactly. Peter calls it the magic of transforming trauma, because when we do that, we become stronger, more resilient, more powerful, more compassionate human beings.
And that's a good thing. Yeah. And if you'd like to find a somatic experiencing therapist near you, we have a link on the Healing Quest website that will take you to their directory. And by the way, if you missed any of Michelle's segments on trauma, they're all on our website. And coming up next, the details on a very ambitious effort to bring yoga to millions more Americans.
An estimated 20 million Americans regularly practice yoga, including my partner here. And by many measures, that is a huge success.
But for at least one group, that's only a good start. Just wait until you hear what they have in mind.
Our motto is yoga for everyone, everywhere.
It wasn't that long ago that Gina Garcia was a TV news reporter in Sacramento, California. But she also loved yoga and teaching yoga.
I realized how much the practice has transformed my life, so I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. I started teaching a free class outside for friends. It started in my living room, and we outgrew my living room. Now we have, on an average Saturday, between 150 and 350 people come practice yoga. It's really the beginning of yoga across America.
And Gina's vision of yoga for everyone, everywhere, has attracted some powerful helpers.
We have a national strategic partnership with Health Corps, which is a nonprofit health and wellness organization founded by Dr. Oz and his wife Lisa. So this partnership allows us to share yoga in 62 high schools in 13 states, as well as the District of Columbia. So our intention is really to share the practice with people who've never heard of yoga, who can't afford it, or who don't have access to the practice. So serving underserved communities.
Dwight Armstrong is typical of the people that Yoga Across America wants to reach.
I've had a long and extensive drug problem, drug addiction for 45 years, in and out the penitentiary, in and out county jail.
But after one recent arrest, Dwight got a break. A judge offered him a chance to avoid going to jail by going to a different kind of diversion program.
The second day I was there, I got introduced to yoga. And there was something about yoga that seems to ring true to me. I really began to understand what yoga was about. You know, not just the physical and the mental, but the spiritual part of it. And yoga has given me a new way of life. I'm not using dope no more. I'm into yoga.
The beauty behind the practice is seeing people embrace it. It transforms their lives. We have teachers across the country sharing yoga with service members, veterans, wounded warriors, at food banks, homeless shelters, Shriners Children's Hospital, yoga for cancer survivors, and the list goes on.
Dawn Heffington is a cancer survivor who says yoga helped her psychologically and physically deal with her stage 3 ovarian cancer.
During the treatments and even afterwards, I guess cancer itself can get you pretty anxious, have a little bit of anxiety about, am I going to make it? Am I still going to be sick? Am I done with treatment? Am I not? And, when's my body going to get back? And yoga has just helped me relax more. It's helped me kind of focus on the now, the present moment, instead of worrying about tomorrow or what's going to happen in 5 months. When I was finishing my chemo, I was pretty weak. My muscles weren't anywhere near as toned as they were before chemo or as toned as they are now. It's helped with my muscle tone, it's helped with my muscle mass. I would say yes, yoga is definitely very helpful. It helps you get back in tune with your body, which is an awesome feeling.
Gina told me one of her main objectives is to bring yoga to vets and the homeless because she's seen what a powerful healing influence it can have.
Really, the possibilities are endless when you co-create and come from community. It's this paradigm shift of something bigger than we ever imagined. Yoga is a journey inward, so be willing to try something new and see what happens.
You know, it looks to me like Gina's work, supported by Dr. Oz and his wife, is really changing the image of yoga from a middle-class activity to something with a much wider reach in our society.
Well, yoga works on many levels for almost everybody, and it's certainly been good for me.
So maybe it's time for me to make some time for that in my schedule once again.
Maybe. And as always, if you're interested in learning more about yoga across America, we have the link for you at healingquest.tv. It's been quite a while since the words healthy and cheese were often heard in the same sentence. But the times are changing.
You're right. A mountain of evidence has shown that the low-fat, no-fat approach simply isn't good for us. And that definitely applies to one of my favorite foods, cheese.
So we've asked Sally Fallon Morell, one of our nutritional experts, to provide some guidance.
Cheese has gotten something of a bad rap because it's very rich in butter fat, and those are saturated fats, and those are the types of fats that are supposed to be bad for us. In point of fact, the fats in cheese are extremely healthy.
As CEO and founder of the Weston A. Price Foundation, Sally Fallon Morell has been trying for years to educate Americans about the benefits of healthy fats, not just for cheese, but for all the foods we eat. Now, the tide may be turning, and that's very good news for cheese lovers, even if they're trying to lose weight.
Cheese is absolutely a wonderful food for dieters because it is so satiating. You can eat an ounce of cheese and it serves as a meal. And so you can have a very low-calorie diet eating lots of cheese.
Sally says the health benefits are especially good with cheese that's made from raw milk from grass-fed, pasture-raised cows.
The finer cheeses and the traditional cheeses were made with raw milk. You get much more complex flavors, a much broader range of flavors with raw milk. And the milk and the cheese is going to end up a lot more nutritious for you because the minerals and vitamins will be a lot more available when the milk is raw.
Sally has a fair amount of experience on this topic because she's been making cheese at her farm in eastern Maryland since 2011.
Cheese making is definitely an art. It's something I love to do. It's a very quiet, Zen-like process. And it's really a thrill to go in our aging room and see all those cheeses lined up there.
All the cheeses here were made from raw milk, which means milk that has not been pasteurized or heated to 160 degrees or even more.
We have such a long tradition of making cheese from raw milk, and raw milk cheese that has been aged is an extremely safe product. They are doing testing now on the microbial activity of raw aged cheeses, and they're finding that in the type and amount and activity of beneficial bacteria, raw cheese is actually superior to yogurt. So raw cheese is a true probiotic food in an especially attractive package. One of the things I love about cheese is that it's portable. It's the food I take with me on airplane trips. It's a wonderful snack food for children. They like it. The fats in cheese are extremely healthy. They are very important for growth and development and neurological development. They're important for digestion. They help us to have healthy skin, healthy brain. This is one of the reasons that raw cheese makes such a great snack, because the fats modulate the blood sugar.
Oh my goodness. You can taste the blue flavor. Goodness. Isn't that good?
You don't get these swings of blood sugar that you might get from eating a cookie or even eating a piece of fruit. The cheese with its fat keeps blood sugar levels stable. And that fat, if the cheese comes from milk of grass-fed cows, is an absolute powerhouse of critical vitamins, vitamins A, D, and K. These are the vitamins that are so lacking in our modern diet. They are the vitamins we need to absorb all the minerals in our food. They are the vitamins that we need to make sex hormones, to make stress hormones. Just a complete food. You could actually live on cheese and nothing else.
Sally says even cheese that's been pasteurized, which is most of what you find at the supermarket these days, can still have a lot of nutritional value.
Yes, but for the most health benefits, she recommends cheese made from raw milk. Although she does have one caveat. Listen to this.
You do have to be careful in buying cheese, however, because a lot of cheese is labeled raw. The milk has actually been heated to just under the pasteurization point to about 150 degrees. So you need to be very careful. And in our shopping guide for the Weston A. Price Foundation, we actually contact every cheese maker, cheese manufacturer to make sure that cheese is truly made from raw milk. And that means the milk has not been heated past, say, 105 degrees.
If you want to check out that shopping guide, we have the link for you at healingquest.tv.
And by the way, the cheddar and blue cheeses that Sally makes have recently both won prizes at the American Cheese Society annual competition.
Earlier in our show, we met Peter Levine, developer of the somatic experiencing therapy and an expert on dealing with trauma and stress.
So we were very interested in his views on the importance of staying connected with nature as a way of helping maintain emotional fitness.
I spend a lot of time teaching in Europe, and my base is in Switzerland, in Zurich. And every single neighborhood has a wonderful park. This is common. I mean, we have that too in many ways. But I've seen so many cities where there are no parks. It's a tremendous loss when we build cities and don't have these sanctuaries. Nature is another important way that helps us reconnect with ourselves.
What a resource those urban parks are, not only in Switzerland, but also in cities all across Europe. But if you're not lucky enough to be near a sanctuary like that, it's also possible to create your own mini sanctuary. So let's do that now. I invite you to sit back, relax, and reaffirm our connection with nature in this healing moment. Thanks to our friend Louis Schwartzberg from Blacklight Films for that fabulous nature footage.
We have more information on his great work at healingquest.tv.
We also want to say thanks to Jane Rivar and everyone here at River Highlands Sanctuary near Grass Valley, California, where we're shooting this season.
And we also want to thank all of you out there for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time, right here on Healing Quest.
Broadcast of this program made possible by
Prime, a daily dietary supplement designed to support cardiovascular health by boosting the production of nitric oxide. Prime from Kivana, formulated to support healthy circulation for every cell in the body. More information available at primeno.com.
Vital Choice Seafood, wild-caught seafood and whole food supplements rich in omega-3s. More information about our wild seafood and our sustainable practices is available at www.vitalchoice.com or at 800-608-4825.
The American Botanical Council provides science-based herbal information at herbalgram.org.
Be More, a monthly digital magazine designed to help you thrive. Every Be More issue is packed with information from nationally known health and wellness experts. Be More is available on request at BeMoreMagazine.com.
To order a DVD of this episode of Healing Quest, call 877-544-4827 or write the address on your screen.
On the next edition of Healing Quest, we'll explore the concept of secure attachment and how it could affect us long after we're little children.
And we start saying things that we go, I was never going to sound like my mother, but all of a sudden it's coming out your mouth.
We'll get expert insight into the power of our animals to help us heal.
Because animals are in the moment, they help us to be in the moment. The truth is, the moment is the only thing that exists, and animals in their own innate wisdom know this.
And our healing moment shows us the slow motion majesty of ocean waves. We'll look forward to seeing you next time, right here on Healing Quest.